Brothers in Arms, Chapter 5. Daxia was a good place to visit, providing you were a member of the Order of Mata Nui and had been invited. There were places to relax and to train, libraries full of tablets on every imaginable subject, and a central well of energy for when one got hungry. Of course, there was also an armory, an equipment storehouse, and a vehicle center that members could access before going on missions. If, on the other hand, you weren't welcome, well, that was another story, as Mazeka was finding out. He had been to Daxia before during his training, and had even been given his Swamp Strider vehicle by Toa Helryx, leader of the Order. With some reservation, she had approved his pursuit of Voltraz, providing it didn't get in the way of other work she needed him to do. But it was also made clear to him that return trips to Daxia had to be cleared first, so the Order could make sure he was not being followed to their secret base. This day, Mazeka had not done that. He had stormed the coast of Daxia seeking information. His old enemy, Voltraz, was heading for someplace called the Core, carrying something for a Makuta named Icarax. Mazeka was determined to stop him, but first, he had to learn what the Core was and where it was. And he knew who would have the answers. "Helryx!" he shouted as he ran through the central corridor of the Order base, 2 guards in pursuit. "I request an audience!" "Grab him!" one of the guards yelled. "He could be a Brotherhood spy!" Mazeka stopped suddenly and dropped to the ground. The lead guard tripped over him and went sprawling. Mazeka shot up, grabbing the second guard's wrist. With a quick movement, he tossed the guard over his shoulder, sending the sentry crashing to the ground. "Sorry," Mazeka said, "but I don't have time for official channels." Both guards were getting back to their feet, so Mazeka took off. While he couldn't become invisible like his old trainer Gerbraz, he knew how to disappear when he had to. The shadows were his friend. He found a hiding place and waited for the guards to rush past before moving out again. Mazeka knew where Helryx's chamber was. He also knew all the traps and guard stations along the way. Gerbraz had trained him to pay attention to things like that. You never know when you might need the knowledge. Now he used it to evade observation as he made his way to the center of the base. Under normal circumstances, this would probably have been impossible to do. But with the Order now at war with the Brotherhood, the number of members on Daxia had dropped. Most agents were out leading operations against Makuta strongholds, meaning that many fewer guards to dodge. Forcing his way into Helryx's chamber would be impossible, too well protected. But he had noted an escape tunnel built into one wall and had made a point of searching for where it came out. Now he went in that hidden exit and followed the tunnel along, all the way back to his goal. But when he emerged, he saw that Helryx wasn't there. Instead, it was a senior Order of Mata Nui agent, Toebduck. This was just about the last person Mazeka wanted to see. Toebduck was tall, easily 10 feet in height. And although he looked very lean, it was deceptive. He was all wiry muscle. He wore a Kanohi Sanok, the mask of accuracy, an appropriate one for him, for he was a killer. This particular Order member got the ugly assignments, and thrived on them. He was most famous within the group for planning the deaths of, or personally slaying, everyone who knew the location of the island of Artaka, including other Order members and a Makuta. Although one would expect someone like him to be cold and calm, Toebduck was in a perpetual rage. He fed on anger, his and others. It made him stronger. Mazeka had battled Toebduck a few times during his training. He had always lost. Despite the Matoran's best efforts, frustration and anger were growing him during the fight, making Toebduck even stronger. Then the fight would be over in seconds. "Come out, Mazeka," Toebduck said, with the grin of a hungry Kavanika wolf. "I know you're there." There was no point in denying it or postponing the inevitable. Mazeka kicked open the entrance to the tunnel and stepped out into the light. "I would have thought you would be out killing something," he said. "Did Helryx ground you?" "My time is coming," Toebduck snapped. "I was made for war." "Great," said Mazeka. He forced himself to stay calm and collected, so he could deny Toadduck any extra strength. I hope you and your battles will be very happy together. I need information. Where's Helryx? Out! And you don't come to us, we call you, Toadduck growled menacingly. Voltraz is heading for the core, bringing something to a Makuta, Mazeka explained. I need to follow him, but I don't know where the core is. I do, said Toadduck. His eyes somehow managed to gleam, and yet remain cold and dead at the same time. And I could tell you, but not yet. He picked a dagger up off Helryx's desk and toyed with it. Jobraz says you have come far, but do you have what it takes to kill? Here it comes, thought Mazeka. He's going to challenge me to combat for the information I seek. And I'm better than I once was, but not better enough to beat him. To Mazeka's surprise, Toadduck put the dagger into a sheath on his hip and smiled. No, cutting you down wouldn't even be sport anymore. Not when there are so many better targets out there. I have a job to do, Mazeka, and I could use a little help. You aid me, and I will tell you what you want to know. Or you could refuse, and the guards will haul you off to a cell for interrogation, while Voltraz roams free. Mazeka had no choice. His need for revenge on Voltraz mattered more to him than anything else. If he had to team with someone like Toadduck to achieve his goals, then so be it. What do I have to do? Asked Mazeka. Nothing too terrible, said Toadduck, already walking out of the chamber and obviously expecting Mazeka to follow. We're just going hunting. To be continued in Destiny War Chapter 6.